with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Randy McKay with us today, Scott Rabelais, Wes Reynolds, consensus golf picks. We got World Baseball Classic, the NCAA play-in games last night. We had NIT last night. Tournament Eve tomorrow will be at Bally's Sportsbook, the brand new Bally's Sportsbook, downtown Baton Rouge, as we kick off the official NCAA tournament tomorrow morning. Jimmy, how are you?
I'm just fine,
just
man.
Peachy, huh?
It's just, I just think that this World Baseball Classic is just such a nice compliment to what else is going on. I mean, first four is, it's just kind of it's not even an appetizer; it's an hors d'oeuvre. It's nice,
yeah.
And look, all the fuss about people getting all, man, you're gonna expand a tournament. As long as we got 64 on Thursday, that's all. Who cares? I mean, really, who cares? Who cares if you double up, Tuesday and Wednesday? Who cares? Who cares if you triple it up? I mean, who cares if you quadruple it up? As long as we got 64 on Thursday, I'll be surprised if they don't fool with that. I think it's a lot about nothing.
Well, you know what I compare it to? The people that complain about the minor bowl games, okay? As long as you have the playoff set, who cares if they have a...
Well, the minor bowls were on the other TVs. That's the NIT.
Yeah.
And that
right.
is, and if you pay attention about how you handicap the minor bowls on who's more excited to play, who's going to be more excited to play, South Alabama or Auburn? Give me a break.
And that spread was way out of whack.
That's a Super Bowl.
But you agree with me? As long as you get the playoff right for the national championship, whether they decide it's 12 or 14 or 16 or whatever in the future.
Well, it's different, Charlie, because the first four, you're going into the real tournament. Okay, so it's different. I mean,
but I'm talking about the people that are complaining about adding more games. Okay, well, don't watch. Okay, I mean, I like more games. I like games. I like to watch games.
As long as there's, you cannot get to Thursday and have 64. I mean, if you. I mean, I haven't heard anything that's going to alter from that. I can't believe they would do that.
No.
Are they looking for more content? Are they looking for more space where live TV, live sports TV is the most, the most valuable source of television revenue? That's fine. That's fine. If you get this is a year where, man, all the bubble teams are so bad down the stretch. It's not going to be that way every year. With the mid majors, I don't know if that's reversible. Unless they regulate this thing.
It seems like there'll be fewer. There'll still be some here and there, but there'll be a lot
have the
fewer.
automatics.
We're talking about competitive mid-majors, teams that are capable of getting to the second week.
I still want that team that wins their tournament. I'll rig it a little bit more to make it favorable. Like, look.
They've tried to do that. Sunbelt did.
No, a lot of them have.
Yeah.
No, some haven't.
No, not all of them.
No, okay. Some have, some haven't. I mean, they trying to. I mean, Navy played the semifinal on their home court and would have played the final on their home court. Didn't get there. By the way, they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
those minor
aware.
bowls? You know those minor bowls?
I'm aware.
Does that apply in the hard score too?
It did last night.
Well, no, there was no military school playing last night.
Not a military school, but teams that care versus teams that maybe are
a
little less.
First 6 dogs came in last night in the NIT. So, I mean, in the World Baseball Class, they've got something, okay? I mean, the team shows up with game-worn jerseys.
The hockey jerseys, yeah.
From huh? Wait, I had to read that over and over. Game-worn jerseys?
They sent on the game-worn jerseys.
I mean, so this, we're not always going to get all of these players to play. It's just, it's got so much juice. We talked about the Venezuelan population in Miami, man. It's as much as we have people in Baton Rouge. It's really strong. You play in the Mexican games in Houston, so you're going to have a strong contingency there. You got enough. But those other countries don't have the NFL. They don't have football, college or pro football. So it's not a little bit of a letdown and before even a spring training, okay? But so they're into it. And I mean, did we want it more than the Canadians in the hockey? Maybe so. I mean, the dog wants it more.
The Canadians wanted it,
but it's also the Asian countries. I mean, they're not as animated as the Hispanic. It's just a great tournament. I think it captures the culture. But that place was rocking, and you can tell me that they don't care. That's about as excited as I've seen Bryce Harper. Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yeah.
Tell me a home run where he's more excited.
I've never seen
I mean, and you know what? And it's going to be one of my more memorable. Even it didn't count. It was an exhibition. But what's one of the home runs they talk about Bo Jackson was? Who's leading off the All-Star game? In the Big A.
Yeah.
Okay? Remember that one. Man, that popping this night. And it's just, and there's parity. I mean, that Venezuelan team is good.
Yeah.
The Dominican team is incredible. You have your pitching limitations. I get it, okay? So both closers last night were save-only situation. Okay, but it's the same teams. You need to escape. You need to get these pitchers through without some kind of injury. Now, we know the obvious Mets, and he's towards the year. So you had that. But, man, they got something going. And it's not like the basketball. Basketball, if the best players play, we're going to have a good chance at winning, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a lock. And it's also the element, it's baseball where, okay, is Judge, is he not a performer in the big spots? Well, man, a single elimination baseball tournament? No, if you've been around baseball enough, it's baseball. You can't. The best team's not always going to win. I mean, it's almost like the format, Olympic hockey. We go 3-on-3. Let's decide this thing. It's a little bit, but that makes it that much more dramatic. I think it's got a lot of momentum. And look, we want to crack on the NBA on the All-Star game. These All-Star games suck too. Okay, the MLB All-Star game ain't close to what it used to be. Not close, okay? The hockey All-Star game, 16-14 final, that's not real hockey, okay? This international competition, they got some juice, man. So take advantage while you can, because we might be here for 20 years from now saying, remember when the best players in Major League Baseball played in that World Baseball Classic? They might not be here ever.
Play you
think they care?
They want to play. Bryce Harper after the game, and this to me is where this is going with the next step. If MLB wants to cooperate with this or not, I don't know. He says, I want to play in the Olympics. And the Olympics come up before the next WBC. So are they going to let the Major League Baseball season pause in late July, early August, okay? Right before you get into the thick of I would say pennant races, but we really don't have those anymore. Are you going to let the Major League Baseball season stop for 2.5 weeks for the Summer Olympics in Los Angeles in 28?
You saw who was on the field, greeting every player, giving them as the medals, huh?
I didn't watch the ceremony. No.
Everything was great. Pre-game, post-game was great. Everything. Manfred. Oh, he was both teams. He's right there. He's getting a feel for it, and you could not have been at that stadium if you didn't say, oh, this thing's got some juice. Yeah. So, does it work for hockey?
It works great for hockey.
Okay.
You have a collective bargaining agreement up after the end of this season that is almost certainly going to produce a work stoppage of some kind.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't, and this is going to be in that conversation. It's not going to be number 1, 2, or 3, but it's going to be in there somewhere. Are you going to let the players play in the Olympics? You're going to let them play in the Baseball Classic? I don't know how to go. Well, I would like to figure it out.
Bryce Harper tells after a loss he wants some more.
Bryce Harper said,
is he not a prickly pear? Is he
very
not?
much?
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, and he wants it.
He's saying Aaron Judge, who's the biggest star, the biggest American star in the sport. Okay, I want to be the captain of this. Paul Skeens, who's the best pitcher on the planet right now, says, "Sign me up in ink. Don't put me in pencil. Sign me up in ink." So you have the stars that are into this, and if Manfred is, well, by the time this comes around again, he's not going to be in office anymore. But this will be.
Oh, he will have influence.
He'll have some influence.
He's got a lot of influence.
This next collective bargaining agreement this topic is going to come up, and I don't know how it's going to go.
We've loved these international tournaments so far. There's no doubt about it. I think hockey is probably the best case study we can do for this because we're very casual watchers. The hockey tournament was great. The Olympics hockey was great. Are we necessarily watching more NHL because of it?
No.
Just a little bit, not a ton.
Because it's the one thing we can say we love these tournaments, and the jingoism right now is great. I mean, everyone's chanting USA, but are we necessarily, because the hockey tournament was so great, does it benefit the NHL?
No, I was for the
watching...
MLB. Well, you got to listen to your stars also, and I mean, and is the NHL going to, if it's trickle added, okay, are they taking away from this? This thing works.
But I think if you're an NHL owner, you want to see your own returns from this. And they're the best people to talk about with hockey because we're very casual watchers. Are we going to watch more NHL playoffs because of the Olympics?
Well, you got to talk to the Florida Panthers with Kachuk. He was out basically until the start of the postseason, which is more. And you saw the limitations they placed on the pitchers. The pitching, I think, is the only thing. If they throw it in, he says, "I'm spring training for that. I don't have my full velocity and things like that." But I mean, could you tell? I mean, he's pitching. That's
the scariest thing. They're throwing with that high velocity for short periods of time.
But you have more. Well, this is where they have to escape, Charlie. And if Paul Skeens breaks down in a month and a half, or this one breaks down, your boy for Venezuela, okay, then that's what they escape. If they're overexerting themselves more than they should be at this time, there's so, man, and that kind of like gets closer to hockey because Finland is good in hockey, right?
Yeah.
Sweden is good.
Yep.
Canada, obviously. I mean, the Russians are right there if they're eligible. I mean, the U.S., so, I mean, you've got the same thing in baseball. I mean, Acuna, I tell you, got every year, all right? Where in the hell are you going to find Machado and Tatis running out ground balls? Because they know those sickos in the stands are getting on their ass if they don't. Okay? To see those guys who just so – Bryce Harper, he's one. I mean, he's kind of – I mean, he's the one, remember, that ran off Manfred when he came in there or whatever, when he mentioned,
salary cap.
Salary cap, okay, get the hell out of here.
Get out
I
of
mean, he is – so if he embraces it, 8 months from now, okay, you pick where the star is going to embrace it. What star is going to try? Even when he's not at the top of the list.
No,
and if you got him convinced, if you got him on your side, man, that's a tough cookie to crack. And I just think it's so much. It's got more parity. It's got more that compared to MLB. Okay, the World Series was great, but the Dodgers series, 75% of their postseason series were a joke, were non-competitive, not even close.
We all love it. I'm just trying to put myself in the position, in the feet of a team owner, which I never will be. But let's just say I'm worried about the bottom line. Does this add to my team? More of the casuals who casually watch this? Does this inspire them to watch more of my product?
There's a greater risk for the owners. The reward will never outweigh the risk.
What is everybody trying to do? They're trying to grow internationally. We agree with that?
Sure.
Okay. So you telling me that guy that closer from Venezuela, they don't have a little bit extra in watching him?
And watch him maybe more, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, okay, if they, they wants to try and compare to, and they're different. Too, that emotion ain't fake last night.
It wasn't,
it wasn't
for 2.5 weeks.
I know.
It wasn't for 2.5 weeks.
We want, with the money, do they really care? And you can watch one of 162 MLB games, and I'm like, man, Machado's damn good, but I don't know if he gives a flip. I mean, they'll
tell you that they can't give a flip at that kind of level for 162 games.
I mean, I know you have a baseball temperament. I get it. Well, that's what makes it fun. This is 3-way on.
Postseason baseball. It's postseason.
It's postseason baseball, kind of on steroids. Those. But that's kind of the play-in games, those elimination games, those single elimination games they put, the wild card games, and they've been very good. Remember the A's-Royals game? That was so like 9-8 game or something like that. I just think it's God bless his soul. Roscoe did, and this thing is stronger. It really is.
It was fun. Listen, the United States lost.
I know, it's a conflicting position. Damn, you can't.
It was easy to love the hockey.
That's kind of. These guys are so happy, man. It was such a big deal for them. I don't know, man. It was. I had the sound on that instead of the first four until it was over, and then I put on the second half with NC State and Texas. Not that we have any interest in those guys.
We may have a little interest in one of those games. We're here at Sammy's.
Crawfish season, Charlie. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Every day, Monday, Thursday, 5 p.m. out, man. They are beautiful right now. So do a great job over here. They're clean. They're seasoned perfectly over here at Sammy's. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's noon on. So come on by and see us. Of course, the great thing about Sammy's forever used to be, man, that Tuesday special with the thin cut fried pork chops with the red beans and rice and stuff like that. That's on every one of our traditional lunch specials are on the regular menu. So we got everything for you over here, over at Sammy's. That grilled chicken club to the thin-cut fried pork chops, the boudin and pepper jack egg rolls. I mean, some of the new type of additions, and of course the wings over here. But crawfish season, man, it's a hop, skip, and a jump from Alec Box Stadium. So great meeting place. You're meeting people going to LSU baseball. And speaking of LSU baseball, you can't make it to the box. We got every game over here, whether it's on SEC Network or it's on ESPN Family or on the stream. We'll have them on live over here at Sammy's.
And they start Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week in SEC play against Oklahoma at home. Live at Sammy's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street. Mid-City, Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
I don't think Canada Hockey
the Pierre Port store, and now the Thibodeau store, your local experts in construction supplies. They can handle tractor supplies for all styles, big, small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. You need lumber? No problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Port. Top-notch tools and expert advice. It's local service. From the Thibodeau store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now has taken it to another level. Location in South Downs. Always been and Mark. Seafood, Pro Boys Burgers, and more. Up in that, we're full of nostalgia and TVs to catch all the food gumbo, fish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla. Check out dinner and bar at Phil's Oyster Bar. Bleed purple and gold. Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Down Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low rice, great option for diabetics, those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, plank, and vinyl side and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. Go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummings generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of the Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1980.
More than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on the radio at 104.5 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 1045ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford.
After First View with Matt Moscona. Day afternoons at 3 on ESPN Baton Rouge. Live lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Grill on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Remember, this is available on demand, 1045ESPN, LouisianaSports.net. Podcast on YouTube, on LSU Baseball, brought to you by Supreme Rice, celebrating 90 years in business here
specialist will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. Pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loader, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Next Sunday in Jimmy I. I drive and pay for Go Automotive. Since the 1930s, price has delighted their customers. All of your favorite stuff.
Oh, that's right. I mean, like, that's just the trade stuff.
But the new Caldwell rice, spring rice makes your favorite dishes even better.
Oh, yeah, we did this.
Rice, great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Spring rice is proud to be part of the Smart program.
Oh, no, it sounds terrible. Well, let's see if it's working. That's right. I wonder if it's our internet and stuff.
Yeah, well, Wi-Fi now.
We're using
We're
their
using
Wi-Fi.
Sammy's.
That's our connection.
Our connection wouldn't connect.
Yeah, that wasn't working for some reason. That sounds better, doesn't it?
What's is this thing blinking? Now it's real slow. That's real slow. So yeah.
Jen,
You probably just
see what
hit
kind of
it.
delay we got. We'll start talking.
What?
See what kind of delay we got. We'll start
No.
talking again.
It's terrible. You get on within the stream if it's this bad.
So is it are we on the air calling?
Probably.
It's internet connection too. Big dog, where you at for the tournament, huh? Okay. Okay. So, I heard the sportsbooks were going crazy with the baseball game last night also. So, you know, when Harper, you know, hit the tie-in home run. So, sure you picked one conversation and I'm intrigued because just all the numbers, and we know about the player budgets. You know, the mid majors are losing their best players every year. Some, not all of them, but I mean, 85% of them, I mean, are leaving, and that's where they had a little bit of an advantage when they had cyclical. Okay, this MAC school, you know, has 3 seniors and 2 juniors and a couple of redshirt juniors in there, you know, and you know, they're kind of ready to go, like Navy was with all 5 senior starters this year. They could have done maybe been interesting to watch, but you know, last year with the money, just the mid majors got smoked. I mean, across the board. Now the odds makers put out the 1 to 4 seeds are all double-digit favorites. First time, you know, 5-12 matchups, you know, 8+ point favorites, first time ever. 4-13 matchups, average bet spread 14.3. That's the biggest ever. We go on through this thing. Steven, you know, says last night that the early that they got was all laying these big numbers with these lopsided matchups. Is this an overreaction? Is there value to kind of going the other way? Or is this thing where, you know, if Cinderella's not dead, she is severely here? What's your thoughts as head to the we play for real tomorrow? That's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, there's going to be an upset here or there, but I mean, of a Cinderella is not a 10-seeded Arkansas last year, where you had the most teams ever from one conference, the SEC, 14, and they had the highest payroll. No, that's not Cinderella. I mean, we can't factor that. It's like, oh, Cinderella's alive with Calipari with the biggest budget in a where they sent more teams to the tournament in his ever. So, it's High Point. It's Utah State. It's is it Central Florida? Is it South Florida? So do these teams have a chance? So, or at least to be competitive, because it was a bruising. The last 10 years, the double-digit dogs covered, 53%. Last year, 34%. So interesting. Who did you? And this is your college basketball specialist for your consortium. Who did you guys bet early on these big spreads?
Well, one game against us, this key injuries. We took them against these darling South Florida.
Okay.
And we feel like that's kind of a short number, and I'd probably still recommend a now and down and a half. And that was kind of in. So there's one right there for you that's still alive.
Okay.
There's a few of them that aren't alive that we bet. We have Illinois, and of course we laid the 22.5, 23 on them, and now that's up to almost 25. Houston, we have them as well, 23, and that one moved up. One that hasn't moved is UConn. We laid the 20.5 with them, and so far no movement there really. And maybe everybody's upset pick this year. You're talking about high payroll, Kentucky, Cinderella, Kentucky. We laid the 3.5, and he still gets 3.5 there. So there's your Cinderella.
And this is totally different from sort of, because usually betting public takes this thing is different. Randy, I mean, we were at Beau Rivage last year, dealing with Carl Johnson, and Carl says, man, listen, this is different this way. The public, a lot of the casual bet but these bettors who hadn't been to college basketball all year, they're betting underdog teams they've never heard, and stuff. Can't name, one. So this is, this best known. Been playing tournament for a long time. It was the worst first round I've ever had. I mean, just because, when I'm out, we're going to take the directional team, the less public team, and it usually. And let me tell you, it wasn't a whole lot of beats in there too, Randy. There was some games I didn't have a chance, in some of them. So I'm trying to figure this thing all out. What would you suggest, as far as a general handicapping approach to this thing? I know it's game by game, but just generally speaking.
So I'm still going to attack some underdogs here, but I'm going to do it the method I've been using for years. But of course, I lost a couple units last year because of all the, and that's attack halves. And of course, their lines aren't out yet on these.
Okay.
I have about let's see, I got 8 teams I recommend first half bets on, and you'll be getting pretty good points. So the first one is North Dakota State. The line is 16, so hopefully we get 9.5, 10 or something right around there. These lines aren't. I think DraftKings maybe has a line out, but as far as having a big market on these, it's not out till day of game. Another team I can see hanging in there, and they won outright last year, was McNeese State. So they're 11.5 point favorite as far as the pregame line. So you probably get a good +6 or something around there. Troy is a pretty good that in the first half +13, probably get a 7 there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got your High Point against Wisconsin. People are really betting High Point. That's one dog that is really getting some action. I still kind of like them in the first half. So that was one there. Probably get a 5.5 or 6. Hawaii there with the big fish guy in the middle. We've been talking about him, and of course, Beeson had their coach and the big fish guy center on as well. So that was kind of neat to hear. But I could see them hanging in there, and they're getting, they're getting 16 pregame. I could see that being 8.5 or 9. Akron's another one. That probably, and a lot of these teams will fizzle out probably in the second half and cover the first half.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
kind of happens,
yeah.
but that's one there that that's an 8+8 where that could be getting a 4.5 first half. Hofstra, another one, 11.5. Probably get a good 6 there, and then the last one, bad travel spot here for St. John's. They get a 5 seed, which
right.
They should have been higher than that, and then now they get shipped out to San Diego. So they don't like Patino, they don't like Calipari. They ship them both out west. That line's been going. It's about a +11 line. You'll probably get 6.5 with the good defensive team that Ben Jacobson provides there with Northern Iowa. And I played against Ben Jacobson in high school, so I just want to kind of mention that.
But you mean you got to self-promote, huh? I mean, that's your style, huh, big dog? I mean, he was a stretch four. Before there were stretch fours, we became really popular. Well, the nice trend on teams that you put out, there's a lot of mid-majors that either won their regular season championship along with their conference tournament. If they didn't, they were like Akron. They were still considered to only lost one game, but they were more impressive. Or either they won the regular season. As far as St. John's is concerned, it's kind of an indictment of the Big East, and we've talked about it a lot here on our show. Not every time with your segments, but they're not close to what they were. St. John's and UConn, they can play. But everybody else, Charlie kind of reminds me of LSU when they won the league. SEC was terrible, when they won the league by multiple games, and they were an 8 seed, when they in Carolina, in North Carolina, and had to play the number 1 overall seed in an eventual national championship in their home state in the second round.
It was particularly frustrating because had they drawn anything else, they might have very well made the second weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So St. John's wins the Big East regular season championship and the tournament, and is a 5 seed along the way. They just don't. As of late, that's a trend. They don't fluctuate a whole lot depending on the results for tournaments. So how far do you have?
Oh, for me, back to Arizona's only an hour and a half. That's
okay.
The nice thing about where I live. I'm right on the Arizona border, so if I numbers on something, I just drive 5 miles and
okay.
Get that on my maps there. So I got the good location, and everything works out pretty good.
Sounds like Natchez with us, huh?
I was going to say, I've seen Jimmy go over the bridge before. Just drive right over the road.
Yeah, so you have to do it. You have to do it. So it's so how do you think this thing's going to play out? Usually, when there's still things in place to have, the haves have lopsided advantages over the have-nots, but these things are adjusted. Aren't we going to see 50-50 ATS numbers, you think, maybe in these first 32 games of Thursday and Friday?
I believe it'll be pretty close. We won't see quite the anomaly we've seen last year, but the first 2 games here, we'll probably see some of these favorites covering these bigger numbers, I feel. So we'll see how that goes, But they're still adjusting, and it's still a tough thing for the bookmakers to put out some of these lines and try to make competitive action, because they know they're going to get hit by the underdog bettors here, and the public actually has more action than the sharps do on tournaments.
Max, how you think it's going to fall? Opinion?
I don't think it's an outright upset. I think we're going to see the underdog cover numbers. I think it's a slight overreaction to...
Of the 32, what do you think?
I think underdogs get 19 and 13.
Of the double-digit lines.
I think that'll be a little closer to 50-50.
I think it. I mean, they've moved these numbers up, and they've been bet more. You know, when Randy McKay and his crew are coming in and betting chalk. No wonder Derek was had his mid-May jersey on last. I mean, he is. So I think he's like a lot of the books. Randy, anything else before we let you go, buddy? It's this international stuff, the hockey, the baseball last night. Any thoughts on any of that as well?
One off topic here. I got to congratulate Holmes. He's a 2-time Iditarod champion. For anybody that watches Life Below Zero, that's one of my favorite sitcoms. So congratulations to Jesse. And there is actually betting markets on that. So I'm sure he was a favorite because he was a back-to-back winner.
Who else? Who else on the eve of March Madness is talking about Jesse the Iditarod champion? Huh? You better drive safely, boy. You're the best, Randy. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck to everybody out there and have March Madness.
We're here at Sammy's on Highland Road. We're also brought to you by Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are exactly alike. So no matter what your age, what your income is, the best plan for you out there is one that you sit down with a counselor, let Phil Fontenot and his staff walk through whatever is going on in your particular circumstances so they can best plan for you. They've done a terrific job. Family, very comfortable with the direction that we are headed. Encourage you to talk to them as well. CoastalCapitalAD.com. CoastalCapitalAD.com to set up an appointment. Coastal Capital Advisors, member FINRA SIPC. Live at Sammy's on Highland. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's is serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary. Friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured truck from Jasper Engines and Transport. A Jasper remanufactured transmission or different will extend your vehicle's life. The extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
This is Charles Henniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
If you're near the north side of Kansas, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee since the 1980s. Locating my cappuccino, friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Lou's Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffee's just outside the north gates of LSU.
Celebrating life, there's no better than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that is on the celebration of all, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, the goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone to maximize flavor. Place on Government Street, just in the heart of Mid-City.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook for 5ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, a chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 145 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All college football all year long. The Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 145 ESPN Baton Rouge. At lunch with Annie, live from on Highland Road on 104 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And you heard about Randy McKay talking about the love for South Florida in the first round. Louisville star freshman Kel Brown has been ruled out of this game officially now, with his status in doubt also for a second-round game if possible. Brown averaged 18.2 points, 4.7 assists a game this season. Had a 45 point. You remember getting against NC State. He had 45 points in that game. Projected lottery pick, and he will miss the game against South Florida and potentially their second game as well.
Clemson or NC State, he played half that game, and then that's where he started sitting out.
I don't remember where he started. He had 45 against NC State. Live, 104.5
Examine things that get better with age, like the bottle of Chateau Lafitte Rothschild, vintage 1870. Things memorable, like this Picasso, period 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away go troubles down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710. Sammy's Grill on the road since 1988. All favorite for tailgating and watching LSU game. Casual atmosphere with the friendliest. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of Louisiana prepared to order with ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana food, Cajun favorites, po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood fried tradition. Pizzeria is up. It's new Monday through 6 p.m. 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event. For your camps, boats, and trailers, ATV tractors, get at morris-ig.com or 225 201-0007.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, two local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side. Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
Click through the static and listen for 5 ESPN Rouge in high definition. Tune to 98.1 and HD2.
There's more than one way to listen to ESPN Baton Rouge on radio at 105 and 104.9 and 98.1 HD2. Online at 1045ESPN.com and with the free ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app by U4.
UNXX Jackson, KX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Enjoying the finer things in life is his forte. And Scott Rabelais, the advocate.
Return here at is on Highland Road. Jimmy, crawfish, and crawfish here at
Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. on. Man, the crawfish are beautiful. Now, look, when those azaleas bloom 2.5, 3 weeks early, that means those crawfish are going to be really, really good, too. I've been having them so much. I've had them 10 different times over here, a lot of times over here at Sammy's, and they are just big and beautiful. And before they get too big and get all hard and tear up your fingers trying to peel them and things like that. So they come out the pot, they're clean, they're seasoned well over here at Sammy's. And, again, that's Monday through Thursday starting at 5 p.m., Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day starting at noon over here at Sammy's. Charlie, just to clarify, Mikael Brown is the whole weekend. So he's out for first and second round early game tomorrow at 12. They advance on Saturday as well. 4.5 games ago, halftime of that Clemson game, which they lost by about 6 at Clemson, and then the last 2 regular season games in their 2 games in the conference tournament, he has been out.
Louisville playing game 3 tomorrow at 12:30 in the early session. All right, Rab, good afternoon. What say you? I know you do your column every year on everything NCAA tournament, men and women from A to Z. So give me your thoughts on women's draw. Start.
Yeah, happy March Madness, everyone. It's a fairly tough regional. Like to understand, the NCAA tries an S curve. It's supposed to follow an S curve for seeding teams. The best one gets to play the lowest 2 and stuff like that. It didn't quite work out that way because South Carolina and Texas are 1 seeds, and they don't want to put a team as highly regarded as LSU or Vanderbilt, who are both 2s in their regional. So LSU gets UCLA. That's tough. I mean, UCLA, I think, should have been the number 1 overall seed. They had 18 quad 1 wins. And I'll say once again, as I've been saying a lot lately, UConn's conference is a joke. I know a 25-win team from their conference is coming to Baton Rouge, Villanova, to play Texas Tech on Friday. But I think that's the only 2 teams from the Big East women who are in the tournament. Their conference is terrible. And UCLA had a much tougher go of it. But anyway, they have 1 loss and UConn doesn't. And UConn's name, that's the UConn name, and that got the number 1 overall seed. So LSU's paired with the UCLA again. Texas Tech, good team, kind of a surprising team. They were picked to finish lower their conference, but that's who LSU will probably play in the second round. Jacksonville, that's a walkover. I mean, they got a 99% chance of winning that game. They're 49.5-point favorite, guys. Don't you love these women's tournaments live on these games? Yes, exactly. And then, of course, in the finals, they could face Duke again, the regional semifinals, or Baylor. You know, Baylor is going to Durham, and they would have to upset Duke on their home court if a chance to be. But so I'm rooting for the story, obviously. Regional semifinal, LSU and Baylor with the whole factor. I'm sure she's rooting for the opposite, but it's pretty tough regional. I think the 4 seed is kind of weak. Minnesota. I think Ole Miss, which is going to Minneapolis, is a 5. He's going to beat them and wind up playing UC Sweet 16. So it's a fairly tough regional, but they were going to get a tough draw. Like I said, they're going to wind up in UCLA's regional or UConn's regional because of South Carolina and Texas being one. So that's what they got, and it was pretty predictable.
On the men's side, NCAA loses last night. LSU losing out in the SEC tournament. They have been mum on what their future is. The consensus seems to be they'll make a run at Will Wade. If they get him, great. If they don't, they'll run it back with McMahon. Do you feel that is correct, or do you feel like there's something else maybe afoot?
What did we talk about a week ago? Is he going to be the coach a week or not? And I said probably not. But it's gotten to every day that goes by would seem to be, conventional wisdom says that's better for Matt McMahon. That our TJ Brown analyzed the whole situation as we talked about at length on your show together. Everybody knows all the particulars and everything about why they it would probably be financial. That said, you can take I don't want to say conspiratorial view, but you can take the opposite view that Will Wade's buyout apparently goes down from $5 million to $3 million on April 1st. LSU did not want to be seen as, after all the flack they got about hiring Lane Kiffin before the college football playoff, they didn't want to be seen as hiring Will Wade while his team's still in the NCAA tournament. So you're done there. And you can obviously have Wade Roos, who's the boss of McNeese, Lee Mallett, Charles, the new chairman of the board, who's we believe is a Will Wade booster, and the governor probably would want him back. So there's all those things. So I think it could still play out that way, certainly. But if it's not Will Wade, who? That's the question I keep asking myself, and I don't have a good answer for that, because you get someone who fires people up, in a way that Will Wade did, in a way that Dale Brown did back in the day. And you don't need another Trent Johnson, in here to replace Matt McMahon, who, we all agree is a good guy, but is not Mr. Charisma.
No, and any of those other coaches would come with considerable risks. I'm not discounting that at all.
Not not improving.
Oh, no,
I mean, that's for sure.
Considerable risks of having long-term success here, but not of improving.
You always want to follow Curly Hallman.
Yeah, the next guy is likely to finish higher than 16th, but it's a long 2 weeks. If they are indeed waiting on the buyout to go down, and that's a tangible reason to wait. $2 million. Oh, my goodness, I mean, that seems like all the money in the world right now, given what the budget is. But I don't get the impression that if the Wade thing doesn't work out, that they're going in any other direction for all of the reasons, and I disagree with most of them. But
you'd be on your way already.
What's that?
You'd be on your way already. After this season, I mean, boom. I mean, when the other programs knew that, okay, as soon as this thing we're eliminated from this conference tournament, we're announced.
Yes,
it would have been done if it was a true open search instead of one guy will run it back.
Yeah,
I mean, it would have been done already.
It would have.
I think that's right. I think that's right. I agree with that.
I think the other thing to watch here over the next 2 weeks, if this does have any legs, and again, this may be a non-starter. Wade may shoot all this down tomorrow, but. Heath Schroyer, who is the athletic director at McNeese, has been rumored to, be for positions in LSU athletic department. There's opening there. He's got a relationship with Wade. If he were to join the LSU administration in some capacity, well, that might be a signal that there is something there is something to this. Otherwise, he shoots all this, Wade shoots all this down in a day or two and says, nope, I'm staying where I'm at. Then you would expect LSU to make a similar announcement that McMahon will be back next year. All of that could change. That's just my opinion of where we're at right now, Scott.
It seems like now LSU in football, they got the guy they wanted, right? I mean, they Lane Kiffin, and we had to consider other people, I'm sure, but they got the guy they wanted, and this feels like a somewhat similar situation in that respect. And I've heard people say, well, maybe Wade wouldn't want to leave after 1 year. He might at NC State. He might want to come back after like he spent 2 years at rehabilitating his career there to great success. But so there's a lot of. I mean, I'm very torn on this. I think as I've said, I think it's more likely that McMahon gets let go, but I don't think it's 100% because of a lot of mitigating factors. And there's so much support, not just from the fan base, but I think from administration and people like Governor Landry. I assume, I haven't spoken to the governor, but I assume would like to see Will Wade come back. So you got to handle it all there, all very well, and the timing is important, and the money is important, and it's just a somewhat complicated issue. But obviously, we all agree, when that comes back, you've got the NCAA tournament. I mean, there's nothing, and the fan base, the fan support, at least to the start of the season, is going to be terrible. I mean, I've gone into that arena for men's games this year, and I think I could literally count everyone in the arena and get a pretty accurate count before the final horn sound. So no one's going to be supportive, and that's a big problem for LSU. But it's one that it is all part of the equation.
Only the one question, and we'll move on. I mean, we beat this carcass to death. I would be delighted to see Will Wade come back. I think there's a lot of positives to that. I would just ask, do you want to fix a basketball program, or do you want Will Wade?
Let's please, and we're talking about Scott's compare. They're bringing up the football higher.
Yeah.
The LSU basketball is not LSU football.
It's not even close.
It's not. It's not on the same planet, man.
No.
I mean, it's just.
And you can see the difference is this. They were moving on from Brian Kelly. They wanted Lane Kiffin in the worst way. But if they hadn't gotten him, they were still moving on from Brian Kelly. That's not what it appears here. They would like, I think, to move on from Matt McMahon. How can you not want to move on from 17 and 55? But they want him for a certain goals. That's what it seems to me. And that's why basketball program, or do you just want Will Wade? And if you can't get him, well, then we'll let it sit there. That's my question, because you may not be able to get Will Wade for all of the reasons we've talked about. Money, he may want to stay at NC State for another year, or he may want to stay at NC State for 10 years. I don't know. I haven't talked to Will Wade since he left here. I have no idea what he's thinking right now. But at some point, you're going to have to look at it and say, hey, do we want to put any kind of resources into basketball, or do we just not have it? If you don't have it, okay, well.
Kicking the can for a year.
We just move it. We'll move it down the road for a year.
I will say one more thing on this, Scott. Wade, I don't think he'll. I've heard doesn't hold will to LSU for a problem. That he feels like they did what they had to do under the circumstances at the time. Obviously, the landscape of college basketball has changed, and I think he really liked it here. So I think they could get him back. Are you running a risk though? If and a risk, quote unquote, if Matt McMahon gets his act together and they stay healthy next year and they make it to the NCAA tournament, maybe even win a game.
If that happens, then fantastic. I would love to root. I got nothing against Matt McMahon. I really don't. And I'm not going to use the NG moniker because it's just been beat to death. But yes, I would love to root for him. Okay, he would be very easy to root for if he were winning, if he were hustling money and hustling roster. But I see a guy who doesn't schedule anybody, who doesn't raise any money, who's a lackluster recruiter, and a poor defensive coach, at least from what we've seen the last 2 years. So, no.
It's never been easier to get to the tournament in the SEC. 24 bids the last 2 years. Nobody else is doing that. Scott, you can't sniff it.
If they have to come back with him, he does put a good product next year and makes the NCAA tournament. I think that's highly unlikely, but if he does, hey, look, I'd be happy for him. I would love to root for this guy. I would love to root for this guy. He's making it impossible.
Scott, you got him winning a game with McMahon in the tournament next year. I know you're not a gambling man, but let's start.
No, I'm not.
Jimmy will lay you a nice price.
Let's start
on that.
Come on.
I mean, I would love it. I would love it if that happened, but it's difficult. It's difficult to say. All right, gymnastics. Big win to wrap up the home regular season last Friday. What's next for the ladies?
Yeah, that was the end of the regular season. They got the SEC meet this Saturday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma, throwing a kind of a nicety to Oklahoma for joining the SEC. The meet was in New Orleans 2 years ago, people will recall, and it moves around. The final are the top 4 teams in the country. Number 1, Oklahoma. Number 2, LSU. Number 3, Florida. Number 4, Alabama. How tough is the SEC? This is as tough as it gets. Probably not going to make it to the NCAA in Fort Worth. That's how tough winning the SEC is. But LSU goes in there. They have reason to feel confident. They've strung a bunch of 198 scores together, which is what you want. And, of course, Kaylin Chio is coming off this amazing performance. Three events, 3 10s on vault, beam, and floor. She's the first gymnast ever in NCAA history to get 3 10s while competing in 3 events. Haley Bryant got 3 10s 3 years ago, but did all 4 events and obviously didn't get one on I think it was beam, actually. So she's amazing. 9 perfect 10s this year. Going to be the SEC Gymnast of the Year. Leads the nation in all-around scoring and vault scoring and beam scoring, and I'd be shocked if she doesn't come away with at least 1 or maybe 2. There's a lot of competition, but 1 or 2 individual titles. But obviously, LSU wants the team title. They've won it to meet the last 2 years, and the competition has only gone up with Oklahoma and in Oklahoma's backyard. But they've got a great. It's LSU, Oklahoma, or Florida, I would think, for the title.
Chio, the favorite to be the. I understand the team competition, but the individual all-around national champion?
Her or Jordan Childs from UCLA, the Olympian. She was on the 2024 U.S. Olympic team. Jordan Childs is right up there. And I would throw in Addison Fata, sophomore from Oklahoma, who's like 3rd in the all-around. I would say those are the big favorites. But that's very hard. You got to be on all 4 events, and uneven bars is, I would say, her kryptonite, but it's not her best thing. That's the one event where she hasn't gotten a perfect 10 on. But that's really splitting hairs. Yeah, she's right up there. She could be the SEC Gymnast of the Year. Could win the Hondo Award, for the nation's best gymnast. And like I said, it's no one's been more consistently great this year than Kaylin Chio. And if she stays healthy, she's got a chance to go get everything.
All right, Scott, continue your countdown to the Masters. It's just you can see it
3
from
weeks
here.
Tomorrow,
So
3 weeks from tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We are brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Pard Store, and also open in LaRose.
Clean your crawfish.
Crawfish cleaning is important, and the crawfish cleaners, the purples, the reds, and the blues are available at the Thibodeau Store. And crawfish are plentiful right now if you're doing them yourself. What do you hate, Jimmy, besides,
dirty crawfish?
Dirty crawfish.
They come from the dirt. They need to be cleaned.
These crawfish washers will get the job done for you. Multiple sizes and styles for you at the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, open until 5:30. Also, if you're getting your yard in shape right now as we inch towards spring, this last little bit of cold weather, you can save right now on the website, big on lawn and garden tools. Also, your deals of the week, same day pickup, everything available on the website. Your spreaders, your cedars, potting and topsoils, patio furniture, outdoor cooking equipment, and outdoor power equipment, and discounts available on a lot of your planting soils and things like of that nature. And your Scott Cedars buying guides are also available on the website. Check them out at thethibodeaustore.com. You can get to all 4 properties from there. The Thibodeau Store. Live at Sammy's on Highland Road. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The Pierre Part Store, and now the Thibodeau Store, your local experts in construction supplies. You know they can handle your contractor supplies for all jobs, big and small. The extensive selection of plumbing, electrical, and hardware supplies are endless, and they can even deliver it to your job site. If you need lumber, no problem. Available for pickup and delivery from Pierre Part. Top-notch tools and expert advice, it's local service. From the Thibodeau Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online at thibodeaustore.com.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A favorite for tailgating. Games since 1980. Food and steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have insulin resistance. Supreme is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation, methane emissions, so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Cajun has cheesy little up with that atmosphere. In fact, since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
Louisiana, you home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Today, LouisianaSports.net. The Chuck Oliver Show. Nights at 6 on 5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Sammy's Grill on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Wes, how you doing, buddy?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. Okay. You know, we're watching Will Wade a little bit. I know I talked to Human, talked to Macero last night. They were less than impressed with the way they played last night, and you know, sometimes you can, but. He has taken, he's going to the tournament the last 8 out of 9 seasons. That's at 4 different schools. The only time he didn't take his team to the tournament was first year at LSU. And I think he had a major rebuilding year in what he had here just to get to the NIT. Everybody would, I think, around here would consider that a success. But your thoughts on bringing in Will Wade, just because he's polarizing to begin with, but also, you know, you can have difference of opinions on just how good he is.
First of all, I think if he gets propped to LSU, I think the recruiting level would increase, and I think certainly he got better talent when he was down there at Baton Rouge. I think he's an okay coach. I just think that game last night played like it was going to be a grinder, and I think everybody thought it was going to be a shootout on the basis of the total because of what happened in Maui. But we know that's Maui. You guys have watched that enough. Those are soft rims. All the shots go in. They got up and down early in the season trying to figure out what their teams are. And then you knew last night, okay, this is the NCAA tournament. This is not Maui. So this is going to be a little bit of a grinder. And when you've seen a team before, your game plan better for them. So I thought Texas was a lot better defensively last night. They kind of knew that they were going to try to get him in a little ISO ball and off ball screens. So they were more prepared for Will Wade and NC State next time around.
All right, let's get to what everybody's talking about with the the NIL era and the haves being it's just strengthening themselves, and the gap between the have and have-nots are bigger and better than ever. And our idea of Cinderella is not a number 10 seed Arkansas when 14 teams from the conference make it to the tournament, and the highest payroll is at 10 seeds. That's not exactly what we're talking about, Cinderella. With historic numbers, all the 1 through 4 seeds this week are double-digit favorites, first time ever. The 5-12 matchups are at least 8-point favorites, first time ever. 4-13 average spread is 14.3, highest ever. We go on and on. Last 10 years, Dogs had an ATS record of 52.8%. Last year, 34%. We've seen inflated numbers. We've seen early respected action on some of the favorites. Does it taper off, or does this trend continue? Your thoughts, generally speaking, before we get to your individual picks.
Yeah, I think by and large it probably continues. There's still, I think, some bet value, like on the underdog or early. Like you can use somewhere. We just got to search a little bit. They may not have off the page like they used to, but in terms of like bracket pools or anything like that, yeah, it's hard to have some of them oddball brackets depending on the size of your pool. Obviously, in a bigger pool, you got to take a little bit more chances than you would like it's just your office pool or your place of business, where you're going to probably be more chalky. But yeah, it's hard to see, okay, which double-digit seed is going to get to the Sweet 16. I think there's going to be some upsets, but I just don't I don't know if it's going to be as pronounced as last year, but it's still going to be mostly the big guys there. Once you finally get to that Elite Eight and those regional finals, you're not going to be seeing a lot of 11 seeds or 10 seeds, I think, going that far.
All right, Wes, who we on? We got 16 tomorrow, 16 on Friday, and, of course, 2 more tonight. Who we got?
Yeah, we'll start with some of the Thursday games. I played TCU +3. It's mostly 2.5 out there against Ohio State. Ohio State, of course, one of the hotter teams at the end of the season. One of the few teams that I think played their way into the tournament. And, they've gotten top, and now they're going against a team that I think is very good defensively that's going to take away a lot of those Bruce Thornton high ball screens and hedge those screens and try to get that ball out of his hand. TCU very good defensively, and some nice high-profile wins in the non-conference for Jamie Dixon's guys. So I did take TCU tomorrow. I am going to wait a little bit. I am going to probably be on Texas. I always play that one team that wins, not in the 16 versus 16, but 11 seeds, actually is going to win in that first round, and I think it could be Texas getting 2.5 against BYU because of the fact that they've already played a game where their tournament lives were at stake. They've already played an elimination game, even though it's the first 4 game. So I did go ahead and play that. Also for a total here, we've got some high totals actually here in the first round. I think maybe the committee wanted some high-scoring games, and I think they're going to get them in some of these. I think a way to play it in the High Point Wisconsin game is to probably play Wisconsin and their team total over like 86.5, 87. High Point, a very high-tempo team. And Wisconsin, look, this is not the old days with Bo Ryan and Dick Bennett. Like, they're getting up and down the floor and spreading it out and shooting a bunch of threes. And I think they're going to put it on High Point, who, by the way, has not played a team in the Ken Pom Top 100 all season. So they're going to get a dose of reality here. And then Friday games, I played Northern Iowa plus 10.5. There's still some 10 out there at some places. St. John's is getting a lot of hype here. And rightfully so, they swept the Big East regular season in the non-conference, conference tournament. But they can go through some scoring drops a little bit. And if you've watched Northern Iowa, they can slow that tempo to a crawl and really reduce possession. So lower scoring game, I think those points are at a premium. So I like UNI. I think they're going to give St. John's a real tussle here. Perhaps have a chance to pull the outright upset at the end. So I did play some Northern Iowa in that one.
Northern Iowa, yes, indeed. They will grind it out. There's no doubt about that. And I guess another tempo matchup will be speedy, not so speedy tempo for the Hofstra team as well. Congratulations. All right, we got Cam Young in, so our first outright of the season. That works out to 40 plus to 1 range. So you kind of, you outdid Max he had Fitzpatrick as outright. So
yeah, congrats, Wes.
So rub it in all you want, Wes, on Max.
I had him too, so I was actually hoping my partner Kelly Bidlin on long shots on VSiN also had Fitzpatrick. So I'm hoping we get that home, but had him surrounded last week. Thought we were maybe going to get Ludwig, and then he really fell apart on the back nine on Sunday.
Before we get to your picks, do you shy away from him? Because he should be winning more than he is.
Well, he deals with it with a lot of other young players. I think it's hard to win out there, and it's hard to finish. He's still a young player. I still think he's really talented. He's hitting the ball great. So, no, I'm not going to necessarily shy away from him for a while because you get veteran players. Look, how long has it been since Patrick Campbell won? It's been almost close to 3 years. It was a couple years for Mora. So you just get that. It's hard to win out there. And I think, and especially when you had Scotty Scheffler going on his run and, Rory's going to win a few. So, there's not a lot of spots to win out there necessarily for these guys.
Xander Schauffele, Matt Fitzpatrick are Schauffele, the favorite. Patrick's second choice, third for the Valspar. Who?
Yeah, actually this morning, so you've seen a little bit of odds change at the top. I think we might get a Brooks week this week, guys. Brooks Koepka, who I played, and he's anywhere around 25-ish to 1, I think now. He's been fighting that putter for basically 2 years, but the irons are sharp. He's third on approach. He's 50 to green. Now that he's back on the tour, that's kind of died down a little bit, leaving live, coming back home, and he's 13th and 9th 2 events. I think he's starting to maybe put it all together. This could be the week. Sagala, in the mid about 35-ish to 1 range. Went without a top 10 all of last year due to those injuries, and that's in the oblique. Now he's already got 3 here in 2026. This guy was almost a top 10 player in the world at the end of 2024. He's starting to put it together. Nikolai Højgaard keeps putting it together. He's just Mr. Consistency. No weakness in his game. I looked at all the stats off the tee, approach, around the green, scrambling, putting. He was near the top of the list on all of those. Trying to get that Masters invite, too. He's 47th in the world golf ranking. He's got in the top 50. One more good finish. I think he's going to certainly seal that up. A couple of guys that are mid-range that are popular. The reason why. Rio Hestasane, about 40, 45 to 1. Red Hot 4 up at the Farmers. Top 10 at last week at the Play. He's first now in the official world golf ranking, so he's got 2 weeks. This week at the Valspar, and then next week at Houston to get in that top 50. He was 4th here, by the way, last year. Austin Smotherman, 55 to 1. He's been the first-round leader or the co-first-round leader in 2 of the last 3 weeks, including the Players last week. Ended up 13 with runner-up at the top PGA National, American Express. No one on strokes gained approach on the tour this season, so he's a far better and confident player now than he's been the last 2 years here, where he kind of just had, finishes in the top 20s, top 30s range here this year. I think he's going to contend. And then one bomb here, David Ford, 125 to 1, who is PGA Tour U, played his golf at North Carolina, And the two PGA Tour U guys before him, Ludwig and Michael Shorbjornsson, were in the final pairing last Sunday at the Players. So certainly you noticed that. He just wants a better fate in terms of how they finished. Couple top 20s already. One of the leaders on Strokes Gained Approach. So David Ford, 125-1. And I may add some Bud Cauley at 75-1. He was kind of my last leave off in terms of a longer shot this week.
Wes, I'm on a couple of those as well. One question, I know Austin Smotherman, his wife is due on Monday. Any thoughts on maybe looking at first-round leader for him? He's already had 2 first-round leads at this point this year. I know you're not giving out first-round leader picks, but is there consideration, considering how well he's playing, of putting him first-round leader and just in case he has to withdraw or something to leave for a birth of a child?
We getting on like minus 120 on them inducing labor or something. We get a discount or something. All bases are covered here.
Max, it might have to be. I just actually noticed that this morning, kind of scrolling around. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like his wife is apparently due, is what they were saying. I was like, okay, well, I've already played him. I mean, I've had a lot of those this year, by the way, with guys withdrawing. Of course, Rory at the API, Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
Like last week started so horribly and ended well. Morikawa, one hole, and then all of a sudden your one and done's gone, your outright's gone, your top 10 or top 20, whatever you played, is gone. So, it's par for the course. I'm guessing he's probably going to withdraw, and that's just going to be a loss for me, and hopefully he can get somewhere else.
We all had Morikawa. We got to avoid on that Kings. So I mean, I know it's they don't have to, but they did give a refund on that one. Kind of after withdrawing after one hole. That was a tough one to overcome. So any more labor?
That's
more
all
questions?
I know.
Pregnancy. Okay. I mean, Wes is our planned pregnancy expert here. So you cover it all, Wes.
Fertility expert, golf handicapper, basketball handicapper, you name it.
Happy March Madness, Wes. We appreciate it. On X at Wes Reynolds 1. Good luck to you this weekend.
You bet, guys. Thank you.
Don't forget our friends at Go Chevrolet. Go Chevrolet in Laplace. And where I got my vehicle. I don't just talk about the great vehicles from Go Chevrolet. I got my vehicle from Go Chevrolet. My buddy Lee Carney and his partner Nick Richard with the Go Automobile Dealership family. Of course, Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Laplace. Go West Side in in Plaquemine. I said Laplace, but Go Chevrolet in Laplace, Go Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Plaquemine, as well as Go West Side. And the latest addition to our Go Automobile Dealership family, Go in Waveland, Mississippi. So, man, you can check out the new vehicles, the pre-owned vehicles, great selection of trucks, Silverados, the Colorados. I mean, you can get approved with credit right online at our website at GoChevrolet.com. It's easy. Check out our certified pre-owned vehicles, and if you don't have the inventory, exactly what you're looking for, we'll use our nationwide resources to track down exactly what you are looking for. You can check the value of your trade-in as well on their website at GoChevrolet.com. Let's talk about the vehicles from the Go dealership family. The Chevy Tahoe I got comes from Go Chevrolet.
Live at Sammy's on Highland, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Our team Padial and Workbox call at 34886, 4886 and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Haniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by in South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location, or find out more at home.4bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina. Two local favorites bring up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars. Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. They're a pre-owned vehicle. Resources will help find you any vehicle that you look for. Service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name for VIP pricing. Tahoe, I drive. Go Automotive. Automotive in La Plaque and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Our Wednesday consensus golf picks are brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
All right. This is sort of how it went at Fallen Oak. Charlie, Max, your honor.
Jimmy, don't sell yourself short. You made some putts for us that day. Let's go. Valspar Championship, one of my favorite events. It's a little bit low-key, but they've got a decent field this year, and it's you got to kind of plot your way around this golf course. It's less than driver. They've got 5 par 3s, which is pretty rare. Some of them are pretty long, so that's what I'm looking at. My car with Victor Hovland, the defending champion, who's plus 1950 here at DraftKings. One note with what you heard from Wes about Akshay Bhatia withdrawing today, you're actually going to get good odds right now. They still haven't readjusted their lines as if Bhatia is still in the field. And he was 20-1. So when he gets dropped from their prices, you're going to see, some negative drift in some of these markets. So I'd get on Victor Hovland right now, plus 1950. But he is second in the field in par 3s of over 200 yards. And that's something you're going to see 4 of this week. He's the defending champion. He had missed 3 cuts in a row before he won here last year. So I think he's rounding in form. He's got back-to-back 13th place finishes. And I think he's got something going except for his driver, but he's not going to have to use his driver that much, and he's just going to have to find the fairway, which I think he can do well enough. So Victor Hovland, plus 1950. I rarely take guys to go back-to-back, but I think he can defend his title, perhaps with a victory this week at the Valspar. Jordan Spieth, 30-1. Another guy who has not won in a long time. You heard Wes talk about that, but it's been 4 years, I believe now, since he's won on the PGA Tour. But he's rounding the form a little bit, playing a little bit better as of late. Top 40 finishes in his last 3 starts. And players, he finished 32nd. It might not sound that good, but that's the third best finish ever in his career at the Players. He's really struggled over the years at Sawgrass. Not somebody who drives the ball all that well, but he's going to have less than driver quite a bit, and is hitting his irons pretty magnificently. Also having a resurgence with this putter this year. A former winner here back in 2015. He's got some good finishes here in the past, so Jordan Spieth 30-1. Maybe he gets back in the winner's circle this week. Sahith Theegala, you heard the case for him from Wes Reynolds earlier. Another guy who sprays it off the tee. Kind of a similar game to Jordan Spieth in that he can be quite erratic. He can find the trouble, but when he's able to tee down a little bit on some of these less than driver courses, positional golf courses like Heritage, you just put the ball in play, avoid the tree. He plays well at those golf courses, and a longer iron player is one of his strengths. He is very good from that 175 to 200-yard range with his irons, and also good on those long par threes. So Sahith Theegala, not somebody I play a whole lot, but I could see him getting a big win this week at Innisbrook. Sahith Theegala 36-1, and then a couple bombs to go along with it. David Ford 140-1. You heard Wes mention him. Just a great iron player. I don't know if he has the putting for this golf course, but maybe it pops off. Putting can kind of just show up from time to time, and he's got a 16th place finish at the Puerto Rico a couple of weeks ago, but just a good enough iron player to where I think he can contend this week. And then Zach Blair, another iron player, 210-1 for Zach Blair. Not a long hitter off the tee, so he might be hitting driver on all these holes, but he's actually able to catch up to the field a little bit for his lack of distance. His iron play is where he's elite, but the driver is where he falls behind because it's a less than driver golf course. I think he's much closer to field average than the odds would suggest. So Hovland, Spieth, Ford, and Zach Blair are my 5 plays this week.
Ladder David Ford, when you talk about top 5, 17-1, top 10 plus 770.
I think I'd look more a little bit closer to top 20. You can go top 10 and get a little greedy, but especially with
this is a top 20 pick. This is not an outright.
No. I've got him outright at 140-1, David Ford. But I would just, if you're considering that, when you're playing a longer shot like that, you probably want to conserve it just if they're in position. It's not like they're going to win all that many times, but I wouldn't hate David Ford at 20 top 20.
Say you're betting $50 on the outrights normally. You wouldn't break it up in 10, all the way down to top 5, 10, 20?
Not particularly.
No.
I would just pick one of those plays, 10 or top 20. Maybe you can do top 40, but I tend to do with these longer shots.
Swing it for the fences, Charlie.
I will say though, Jimmy, to be clear, I'm not betting the same amount on all these guys. I do not recommend betting the same amount on Victor Hovland as you're going to bet on 140-1 David Ford. You
have numbers set that you want to cash. So to cash on a 35-1 is completely different from 131. I get it. So you alter your bet around that. I just don't know why you wouldn't. I think this would be a perfect ladder spot for.
I think you could do that. It's not something I do, but I think that makes sense.
Let me hit the putt first, okay? All right. Just ladder whatever you do normally. Ladder it, just pick it up. Top 5, 10, 20, or however you want. You can double up on top 20. What is top 20?
20 for David Ford. I'll give that a quick look, but especially
give ties included.
Something I very much recommend. You're going to look at some of these sports books. They have top 20s, but the dead heat rules, you'll just get crushed. If they finish in like a 6-way tie for 20th place, you barely even make any money off of it. Right. So that's the good thing about the DraftKings Sportsbook. Go to Bally's. They've got including ties in their pricing. I've got top 10 markets. Let's see, top 20 for David Ford here. Looks like he is, including ties, David Ford plus 340, including ties for top 20 bet. And considering Wes is on as well, I think that makes sense.
We'll be at Bally's tomorrow and Friday, so our normal Friday location at Ruffino's. It's a standard. We take the day off from there to do the first couple of days at March Madness at the Sportsbook. We will be at Bally's. Don't forget $40 straight plays and $20 parlays. You get an entry into their giveaway. So great stuff. They got the Pop-A-Shot already in there in the viewing area. The massive screen. Armando all gives me the remote. We are set. have all the games on for you. You will have 16 on Thursday, 16 on Friday. So looking forward to it. And we're hanging out throughout the weekend and throughout the day. So we'll be hunkering down for it. Come on by and take the day off, take a half a day off, whatever, and come join the fun over at Bally's Casino downtown at the Atrium at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Live at Sammy's on Highland, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette.
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
It's rolling.
Hang on. Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah, it's rolling.
Join us for Live at Lunch from Bally's Sportsbook in downtown Baton Rouge Thursday and Friday for the first round of the NCAA basketball tournament. Live at lunch, 11 a.m. from Bally's Thursday and Friday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1370. Online at coastalcapadv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954. Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name.
And away goes down the drain.
Roto-Rooter.
Timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. An authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. Now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs in Baton Rouge, 801,000 in New Orleans, 841-3000. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
1950 Phil's Oyster on a government street that Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony is taking it to another level at the current location in South Downs. It's always been a Baton Rouge landmark. Seafood, oysters, po' boys, burgers, and more, all served up in an atmosphere full of sports nostalgia and tons of TVs to catch all the games. Seafood gumbo, crawfish cheesecake, or my favorite, the meatball quesadilla to start. Check out dinner and bar specials at philsoysterbar.com. You know we bleed purple and gold at Phil's Oyster Bar in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at 1045 ESPN and on Instagram at ESPN 1045. For a look behind the scenes, highlights from our shows, the chance to participate in exclusive contests, and more with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
College football talk all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
But I'll wrap
Live at lunch with Hot and Hanny. Live from Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. 5 ESPN. Baton.
Back here at Sammy's Live at lunch.
You ready for a little March Madness, Charlie?
I am really ready.
I
can't
too.
wait for tomorrow. We were talking about how early we're going to get in there tomorrow. games left before we get here. First games tonight, Prairie View and Lehigh, Miami and SMU. The SWAC has won a bunch of these games.
When's the last time you've seen the 16 first four was so much better played than the 11s?
Oh, than the 11s? I can't really think, but last night absolutely was. The second game was very poorly played.
So Miami, and that's not your typical Will Wade team either. I mean, the kid, abuse. I mean, when we were breaking it down yesterday, I said this is a team that can shoot. They got more explosion than what he's had. They don't get out, defend, and rebound. Rebounded 22 just the game.
Well,
20-2.
We talked about the big Lithuanian he was a
factor.
He was a real problem.
He was but Charlie, this is
it wasn't just him.
Those McNeese teams last year, some of them LSU teams like Emmett Williams and having them dogs like that. No, you're not getting. I don't care who you got. 20-2 on the boards. This is the biggest spread ever for an 11 versus 11 matchup with Miami, Ohio. We know about their weak resume, and part of it that the pressure was kind of off. They exhaled a little bit against UMass, or maybe they just kind of caught up with them. You play with fire long enough, you can get burned eventually after being 8-0 in those 50-50 games. They'll be in Ohio. They'll have the crowd there. We know that. But SMU, it's kind of like NC State, and I've been saying this for weeks, they've really slid into this tournament. And if the bubble wasn't so soft, NC State or SMU might be at home, not even included in this first four.
If the season was a week longer, I think both of them would have missed. Like more games would
this
not have
bubble
done.
was just
more games would have done
historically
them any good. You got a SWAC team in there tonight. SWAC teams have won this first 4 games 5 times.
And Howard, Bruce Marshall did a great job of tipping us off on that.
Yeah.
That was a much better team than we've seen.
Howard was good, and Prairie View and Lehigh tonight. Prairie View catching 3.5. Again, the SWAC teams have won this playing game 5 different times.
C.J. McCollum playing for Lehigh tonight?
No, I don't think so. Thanks to our friends here at Sammy's Crawfish here at Sammy's on Highland.
Monday through Thursday starting at 5 p.m., Friday, Saturday, Sunday starting at noon. Man, they're beautiful right now this time of the season.
Come join us at Bally's the next 2 days. It's March Madness time. For Jordan back in the studio, for Max, for Jimmy, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. And stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic